Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make bubble tea, like the actual pearls. They're chewy, they're delicious, and they're really not as hard as you might think. Full recipes coming up, stay tuned. So you're going to start with a small saucepan over medium heat and add a 1/4 cup of cold water, 3 tablespoons of coconut palm sugar, 1 tablespoon of any kind of molasses here. This will add a nice depth of flavor and color to the pearls. And then you're going to add 1 tablespoon of the tapioca starch to start. Whisk this all together. You just want to try to get any lumps out that you can. Keep whisking this over medium-high heat until it comes to a nice, thick, goopy consistency. That's what you want right there. Okay, and then take that off the heat. You can do this in a mixer or just in a bowl by hand. Add in the rest of the tapioca starch and then what you just cooked. With the paddle attachment on a mixer or just with a spoon, patiently mix this together until it forms a dough. I actually was not patient here. I took it out right away, and I really could have kept it mixing in the mixer a bit longer, but it's also good because now I get to show you more like realistically what it's like if you don't have a mixer. Once the dough starts to come together, mix it by hand here, start kneading it. Eventually dump it out onto a work surface and just keep kneading this. Be patient, it will come together. But just check if it's sticky, okay? And this is gonna be different in every kitchen, depending on how humid it is. Just keep adding more tapioca starch, not too much, like about, a tablespoon or half a tablespoon at a time. Kneading that in until it absorbs it. And then see again, if it's sticky, then add some more tapioca starch. And if you find that it sticks to your fingers, you can rub your hands together. Try to get those bits off because that will cause the dough to stick to your hands even if it's at the right consistency. So just keep repeating this process until it comes together and is smooth and not sticky. So this is what you're looking for. It's nice and smooth and it's not going to stick to your fingers anymore. Next, cover your work surface with a little bit more tapioca starch. Use your hands to form the dough into a rectangle. Just roughly press it out until it's, about 1 centimeter thick, and then use a knife to cut that into strips that are a little bit wider than it is thick, just roughly here. And take each strip, just loosely cover it in some of the tapioca starch so they don't stick together. And then start one at a time rolling these out into long snakes. You want this to be a little bit narrower than the width of your bubble tea straw. And then use a knife to now cut this into little cylinders that are, again, about the width of your bubble tea straw, a little bit less. Keep adding those to a bowl with a little bit of tapioca starch as you go and just give it a shake to kind of coat them so they don't stick. And just repeat this process. Be really generous with the tapioca starch and keep giving them a little shake so that they don't stick together. This is where it really is up to you how much of a perfectionist you want to be. The first few times I made this, I rolled them into perfect little balls. It took 10 times longer. What I learned is that if you just round off the edges of the cylinders with your fingertips, those little cylinder shapes go up the straw and taste the exact same in your mouth. So that's what I did here. Bring a big pot of water to a rolling boil and then add in your pearls. Give them a chance, add a simmer for them all to float up to the surface. And once that happens, set a timer for 20 minutes and cook them until they look like this. They'll darken in color a bit. Cover it and take them off the heat and let them soak in the hot water for 20 minutes. This is really important for that chewy texture in the end. After that, you're going to stir them to separate them. And then again, this next step is also really important. You want to strain them and rinse them in icy cold water to get that starch to kind of set up and get nice and chewy. So these boba are ready to put into any kind of bubble tea you want. I'm gonna make a milk tea with a palm sugar caramel. Add some water, a tablespoon of the palm sugar, and about a teaspoon of molasses. And just stir that and let it come to a simmer. Let it start to boil off some of that liquid till it gets nice and bubbly and shiny like this. Add in, this is 1 portion of the pearls. So this is gonna make 1 drink. Give those a stir. You do not have to cook these for long, just toss them through. I learned how to make these boba pearls from one of my favorite creators, Emmy, so I'll link her video down below. That's where I learned how to do this. If you want to get these streaks down the side of the glass, you're going to spoon those caramel-covered boba pearls into the glass on an angle, kind of as you're twisting it. And then finish this however you want to. It could just be with any kind of plant-based milk. I have some chilled black tea here, and then this is some chilled oat milk, a handful of ice cubes. Then grab your bubble tea straw. You can get stainless steel ones like this. Or if you made the pearls too big, just use a spoon. It's not a failure. If you try this, please comment below. Let me know how it turned out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out my Patreon. The recipe and all the other links are down in the description below. Keep nourishing your body. I will see you soon.